Okay, and we're going to go ahead and jump in. So if you guys could mute your phones, I'm not going to mute everyone because I want to make sure that Joe has the ability to say anything that he wants to say to add to what we're going to talk about today. But if you'll mute your lines, feel free to use the chat feature and Joe will monitor that for us, or you can unmute and ask a question at any time, no problem.
Hey, Stephanie, we do have one thing already. Is there a way to maximize the screen, someone asked? You can on your own, depending on what your own device is, you can go up to the settings where it says Zoom, and you should be able to adjust the screen. I think it's Zoom.
So I'm sharing, it's a PowerPoint.
No, I think you're okay, Stephanie. I was just telling those at home watching, you can maximize it through there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I'm like, I don't know how to do that.
You can fit to window or full screen, I think is the options.
Okay, cool. All right. So today we're going to talk about the new screens and dividers. So for any of you that are just joining, if you can mute your line, that would be great so that we can cut out any background noise. Thanks so much. Okay, so some of these screens and dividers that you're going to see throughout this presentation may look very familiar to several of you, and that's because some of them are already part of our Canvas and Gesso product line. So we will not only cover the products that we already have today, but we're also going to highlight these new products in new heights, materials, and options that we've added to the portfolio. And throughout the presentation, you'll notice that the new products are called out so that it makes it a little bit easier for you to see the difference. And then also, and I'll talk a little bit more about this at the end, but we have put all of these into one price list that is available now so that when a customer is looking for screens and dividers, they're all going to be in one place. So that'll make it a lot easier for them moving forward. Okay, next up, these are the finish options that will be available on the products featured in this line. And then just note that in addition to these finishes that you see here, some products are also available as tack boards, and those will be available in a wide variety of graded in and contract upholsteries. So just like you can today get our tack boards in so many different options, that will be the same for these tack board options as well. Okay, so for those of you following along, we are now on the first page that says screens and dividers details, in case my screen is lagging at all. So here at the top, we just kind of went through and listed all of the materials that are available throughout this product line, and then the thicknesses of those. I think that'll help you know what is like a high gloss laminate is going to be a thicker material, obviously, than the frosted and the clear acrylic. So we've listed all of those so that you have that handy in one place. Those will also be listed in the price list for you, just as we've always done, but just thought it would be easier if it was all in one place for you. And then just want to point out that wire management is already available on our veneer and TFL gallery screens, on the straight screens, and that will continue. Nothing is changing there as far as the wire management on those. Okay, and then, so the first model that you see there, the 12-inch high privacy panels, so those are already in our line today, but we're just showing them again because we want to remind everyone that these are going to be great partners to some of the products, the new additions that we are adding to this line. So while we're excited about all the new products that are coming, we want to make sure that you understand that the products that we already had in the line are going to integrate really well with the new products as well. So don't forget about the ones that have been around for a little while. The next thing that you'll notice is that several of the new products utilize those decorative support blocks. And we want to make sure that you guys understand that they're the same as what we have today, what we're doing today with these 12-inch high privacy panels. And the number of blocks that the customer will receive is dependent upon the length of the privacy panel. So for instance, if someone orders a 22-inch wide panel, they're going to get 2 of those blocks, where if someone orders, say, a 62-inch wide, they're going to get 3. So it's going to be dependent upon the length of the panel. And then also know that lastly, the thing I want to point out is that we will also include a non-marring adhesive strip. And this is going to help to keep the screen in place once it's on the work surface. So those will be included as well as the decorative support blocks whenever the privacy panels ship out. Joe, did I cover that completely? Was there anything that I missed there? I want to make sure that we got all that information to them.
Yeah, so to kind of give you guys a summary of the screen block, of what you're talking about, the decorative block, it's available in chrome and aluminum, but it's the same. We wanted something fast to get to the market that would solve this problem. And so the one thing that's different between the screens we're using for the COVID response stuff is they're taller, and that we were requiring to use removable 2-side tape on that. So it gives it more stability. And so you need it for the taller version. The smaller 12-inch version, you don't need it. Like I say, it's been there all along. You can use tape, or you don't have to use the tape. But on the taller versions, the privacy screens, the 24-inch high ones, we do want you to use the 2-side tape.
Perfect. Joe. Okay, and then at the bottom of the page, we're seeing the first 24-inch high privacy panel option. So this one is obviously double the height of the existing 12-inch privacy panel that we're already offering today. If you guys could mute your phones, that would be great. Sounds like somebody might have a bird.
Stephanie,
Thank you.
Stephanie, this is I have a couple of things to bring up here.
Yeah, sure.
Kim Browning was asking, do we have a close-up of the decorative blocks? And I want to say you can go to our website and see that. You have it on this presentation or not. Someone else was asking about pass-through openings on the taller screens, and yes, we do have pass-through openings on the taller ones, on the ones that are for like the reception screens. The clear ones, there is one there. And I think Stephanie's going to be getting to that in just a minute.
Yes. Okay. And then one of the questions that came up this morning regarding these 24-inch high privacy panels in the acrylic was, how sturdy are they? And Joe can speak to that, but I know that he and Mike have both really, tested them to try to kind of knock them over, and they're pretty sturdy. They're going to hold up. Can you knock them over? Obviously, yes, you can, but it would be difficult, and someone would have to work to do that. Okay. All right, so then next page, we have lots of new product to talk about on this page. So that the one that someone just asked about, the one with the transaction slot, is the first one at the top of the page. So the privacy panel with transaction slot, this will be great for, somebody's got a kiddo that's screaming. If you could please mute your phone. Thank you.
Hey, Stephanie, can you mute everybody?
I can't, because then I would mute Joe.
That's okay. Just go ahead and mute. I'll unmute myself. You can do that if you want.
Okay. Do you want to raise your hand if you have something to say, Joe?
Yeah, I can.
See. Hold on here. Sorry, I'm trying to find it. Joe, do you know how to do that while sharing?
Go.
I found it. I got it. Sorry, guys. I know I muted for a second myself. That one is the one where if you need to pass papers or do transactions, that's going to be the one that the customer will want to choose. So these are available in a number of widths. And then just know that the transaction slot is always going to be 14 inches wide by 4 inches high. And it's always going to be centered along that bottom edge of whatever size panel the customer orders. So it's going to fall in a different spot depending upon the length of the panel that is ordered. So this product is actually a perfect companion to already installed reception units that are already out in the field, or anywhere that, you know, there is a need for protection with the ability to make those transactions.
You know, Stephanie, can you hear me?
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, it works. So the one thing I do want to point out to our solution is that when I say the removable two-side tape, is that when one day all this is over with, we expect customers will want to remove these screens from their furniture. So when they get ready to do that, then they can remove the screens and it won't damage their furniture.
Great. All right. So then moving on to the next option. So this one's a little bit unique from the other models that we've already talked about. So this particular model is going to come with an acrylic support instead of those decorative support blocks that we've spoke about already. And you can kind of see them there in the picture. There's sort of like a little triangle that the acrylic panel is going to sit down inside of. So the one thing to note about this particular model is that the support is going to match whatever the acrylic panel is. So for instance, if they order a clear acrylic panel, they're automatically going to get clear acrylic supports. So it won't be a mix and match sort of thing, and they won't specify those separately. Now, if you have a situation where somebody wants to do something different, we would just need to run that through as a custom. All right, and so next up, if nobody has any questions on that, next up we have our above and below screens. So these, we've already had these in our line in other heights. But now we're adding this 33-inch high above and below screen. So that is going to give the user 24 inches of protection above the work surface, and then the remaining 7 inches of protection below the work surface, or modesty panel rather. I'm sorry, 8 inches below. These will come with decorative hardware, and you can kind of see them there on that image, available in both aluminum and chrome. So those will actually be attached to the work surface, just like they are today. So this particular solution is going to work great for training and multi-purpose tables, or really any work surface that needs protection above and then a modesty below. And then on the next page, we have 17 and 20-inch options, and those are a great solution for height adjustable desks. So keep those in mind. And then the other thing that I want to point out is on the above and below screens, they are also available in more materials than the ones that are set on surface. So you're going to see that those high gloss acrylics, the TFL veneer, and then tack boards are going to be available dependent upon the height in those different materials.
One thing I'd like to add is that those 17-inch ones, those have existed for they've been in the product offering for a long time.
Right, right. And then the 20-inch as well have been around. I don't know that they've been around as long as the 17s, but those are not new.
Right.
Okay. Okay. And then the last thing on this page that are new are the acrylic connector clips. So what this is going to provide is a clean connection when you have two acrylic panels coming together at a 90 or a T or a 180 degree connection. I'm gonna go back one page, and I'm going to show you, for instance, on this reception station, this would be a great place for those connector clips to come into play. So they would allow that corner to stay nice and clean and lined up together. And then, Joe, do you want to explain again for me how those connector clips work and kind of what they look like?
Absolutely. So the connector clips, they're just 90-degree clips. They go over top of the acrylic, and it's just a screw that you tighten in on both sides. It's really intuitive and simple to use. So if you look at what Stephanie has on screen now with that L group, the L group desk, there's two things I want to point out. One, that is a great, you could use the connector clips in a situation like that. But then also if you look at the triangle feet, someone was asking about how stable are they and how do they attach. So those acrylic feet, they're just slotted out. The triangle part is slotted out, and the panel is slotted out halfway. So then they just slide on top of one another. Now they're not as stable as, say, the screen block type. I mean, they do move, but I mean, it is acrylic sitting on top of it, so it's not a permanent piece. But it is stable. It's stable for what you're doing with it.
Perfect. Thank you, Joe.
Yes.
Okay. And then the last page we're going to look at is the gallery screens. And as you all probably already know, these are part of our Canvas and Gesso series already. And we're just showing them here again, just as a reminder that they're a great solution for this new way of working, and that you may get asked questions, what solutions can you provide for us to provide to our customers? And we just want to kind of keep these top of mind. And keep in mind too that a lot of these products can be used, and Joe kind of mentioned this, in conjunction with one another. So you could have, for instance, an above below screen on a height adjustable desk, and then you might need to add a smaller screen on the side of that. And again, these products are going to be able to work together in order to provide the protection that you need around that user. And then, although we haven't highlighted Square One today, I do also want to remind everyone that Square One is the ultimate space division product because it is so incredibly versatile. I shared with some of you at the beginning of the call that we're on early that tomorrow when I send out the weekly communication, I'm going to share some installation images of some designers that got really creative with Square One recently. So keep on the lookout for that. That's coming tomorrow. But in addition to, so we have provided, or I'm sorry, we've created a screens and dividers product page on our website. So on this page, you're going to find new images as well as a new brochure that provides several idea starters for retrofitting and redesigning spaces using these screens and dividers. So if you haven't yet, check that out on our website. You're also going to find a dedicated price list that encompasses all of these screens and dividers. So in the past, when someone wanted something like this, it was in the Canvas and Gesso price list. We are going to leave what's there, but then we have recreated the same information into this specific screens and dividers price list, so that when you have a designer or a specifier looking for that product in particular, they're going to be able to find everything in one place. It's just going to be much, much easier on them. Let's see, what else do I want to tell you? All of the products that we've reviewed today will have BIFMA and indoor air quality certifications. If they don't yet, they will soon. So those certifications will be available online as well. And then these are all available now for order, and we'll have a 3-week lead time. So what I have been told is that the acrylic screens will stay steady at a 3-week lead time. However, the straight and L gallery screens, those will follow Canvas and Gesso lead times. So keep that in mind, but still very, very quick lead times on those. And then also just want to remind you guys that if you have a specific need, a specific layout that your customer wants that you don't see in the standard offering, always reach out to our custom quotes department or our drawing services team, because they can certainly get very, very creative and come up with a solution usually that's going to work great. Dalton and Kayla and Angie and Joy are just magical with all of their ideas and the way they can put this product together. So keep that in mind.
Hey, Stephanie, I have a,
Yes.
have a couple of questions here. Moses was asking if, will these products be on GSA soon? I don't know the answer to that. Do you know?
Typically, it takes, after we have introduced a product, it takes about a month or so before it's on GSA. I can check with Angie to see if she's in the process of adding these yet, and we can try to get a timeline, and I can get that information out to you.
Okay.
Any other questions?
That's it for now.
That's it for now? Okay. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. All right. And does anybody else have any questions, comments? Feel free to unmute yourself. I muted everyone.
Hey, this is Kim, Stephanie.
Yeah.
Are the decorative blocks double-sided taped to the desk? Is that their attachment mechanism?
Yes, it is. So the blocks, how it works is the blocks, they're one side is threaded, and so there's a screw that goes in between the blocks that smashes the acrylic together, and then that assembly gets taped onto the work surface.
And that tape is non-abrasive, so when they remove it, there's no damage to the desktop.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Hey, Joe, this is Don Wallen.
Hey, Don.
Hey, I'm excited about the acrylic screens, especially the large ones, because it looks like our competitors are kind of limited at around 42, 44, 48 inches. It looks like we're offering 62, 64. With that said, what I've seen from other manufacturers, they start out with really good lead times, 2 to 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And before you know it, they're combined with inventory and they're out 10 to 12 weeks. How comfortable is Indiana with your inventory of acrylic?
Well, that's a great question, because as we all know, this is everybody wants a supply of acrylic, and right now our supplier is good. So now I can't speak if we would get a heavy influx of orders, if that's not going to change, but as it stands right now, we're good to go.
All right, because I'm just gonna throw this out there, because there's been some phenomenal stuff going on out there, especially in what we're seeing in schools and universities. I mean, we're seeing requests for quotes at 2,000, 3,000 at a time.
Wow.
And so that's sopping up a lot of these manufacturers' inventory, and a lot of them have moved from domestic sources to overseas sources.
Yeah, like I say, right now we're okay now, but we'll keep you guys up to date if that would change.
Super. All right, I'm excited about it. Thank you.
Thank you, caller.
It's Jeff Marolo. Just to tag on to Don's talk about schools. So in a lot of states, in New York and New Jersey, they do not allow acrylic in public schools because of fire ratings. And the accepted product is polycarbonate. So if Don or anybody else is working on a school project, does your source that you get your acrylic from also have polycarbonate?
I will find out. I'll look into that.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions or comments? We're open for comments too.
Hey, I got another quick question. So, how are we going to do freight on, if somebody just orders a onesie twosie?
I don't know. Whatever we would do in a normal accessory today is what we would do on this one. I don't know the answer to that, but I'll find out for you.
Okay. Because it's kind of, because I mean, if you have a $300 62-inch net acrylic and you want to charge them $100 freight, that's kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Thanks, Don.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any questions? Comments? Funny stories they want to share?
Is it only Texas and New York on this call? Is that it?
Oh no, we got loads of people on this call. You guys are just more chatty than the rest of them.
We're just social distancing.
Yeah, that was Georgia.
All right. Well, if you guys have any questions as you're working through this, don't hesitate to reach out to me, Joe, your customer service person, Tammy, Patty, Mike, whoever. I mean, we're all here to answer your questions. And if we don't know the answer, obviously we'll find out and get back with you. So just, let us know. Hang on. There's a chat that just popped up. I got to read this. Hold on, guys. Okay. Dawn, you have been ordered to go back to your basement. I'm sorry to say. Pretty sure that's from Mike Webb.
I got a concert to go to tonight. No way.
Oh my goodness. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for your time. Just know that Iconic is the next product that we will be introducing. That's coming here in just a few short weeks. So Joe and I have been working on the training for that. So stay tuned. I'll be announcing a date for that coming in the next couple of weeks or so. So everybody have a great day. If you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Joe.
Stephanie.
Thank you.
Thank you.